Well, Alexa, thanks very much for coming on the program tonight. Good talking to you.
Good to be with you, Cam. Thanks for having me.
You bet. A lot of stuff going on around the country. Let's get started in Pennsylvania. We've been paying attention to this Castle Doctrine legislation. It's been stuck in committee. They finally had a discharge petition that was voted on. It got out of committee, so the House of Representatives is going to hear and consider Castle Doctrine legislation, I believe, next Monday. But there's some bad news to go along with this as well. The Philadelphia area anti-gun state representatives, they're going to try to put every piece of gun control legislation that they can think of onto this Castle Doctrine bill, right?
Yeah, that's exactly what they're doing. It's really disappointing, but yeah, we've got a good bill, a Castle Doctrine bill, allowing you to protect yourself there in your home without the fear of prosecution or without having to try to run and hide or fight first. And what the anti-gun politicians there are doing, though, is trying to attach all these other anti-gun amendments to the bill, which, of course, we're against. So, some of those amendments would include a ban on semi-automatic rifles, one gun a month purchasing restrictions, mandatory storage of firearms within the home, mandatory reporting of lost and stolen firearms, and the list actually goes on and on. That's not even all of it. So what we are definitely wanting our members there in Pennsylvania to do is to contact their state representative and tell them to support this bill, but without these anti-gun amendments attached to it.
Absolutely.
And, we're hoping that HB 40 can still make it, but we don't want it going through with these anti-gun amendments attached to it.
No, yeah, you're right. I mean, Castle Doctrine is great, but if you've got a gun ban attached to it, all of a sudden, I would think that gun ban, that's going to make it a heck of a lot worse than passing Castle Doctrine.
Right, I totally agree. So we'll see what happens there. That'll definitely be one we'll have to keep an eye on.
Yeah, and gun owners in PA, I guess, should be contacting their state representatives right now and urging them to vote for a clean Castle Doctrine bill.
Absolutely. And of course, as always, if they go to our website, www.nraila.org, they can find information there on the Pennsylvania part of the site, and they can figure out how to contact their state representative.
All right. Now, what can you tell us about Senate Bill 1132, Alexa? This is the Law Enforcement Officers Safety Act, and this was passed by the House today. Is that right?
It actually was passed late last night, and it's actually a quick correction. It's a long name, but it's the Law Enforcement Officers Safety Act Improvements Act.
Improvements Act, okay.
Yes. So they're making improvements to a bill kind of known as LEOSA. And so this is going to address problems that have occurred in the implementation of the original LEOSA, which was passed back in 2004. And, it's basically a great bill for our law enforcement officers. And some of the things that this will now do is ensure availability of required training by allowing a retired officer to meet the standard of any agency in his state or his own former agency. It'll make clear that LEOSA carry rights extend to retired officers who have served with one department but then retired from another. It will reduce the required time in service to qualify for LEOSA carry rights from 15 years to 10 years. So it really just improves that bill from back in 2004, and we're happy to see that's going to happen.
Absolutely, because, yeah, there were some problems with some anti-gun jurisdictions. I know that we've heard from officers in Chicago, for instance, that, the city of Chicago is making it difficult for them to and even Illinois cops, I guess, generally speaking, were having a hard time meeting the training standards because not all of the states, and I guess Illinois was one of those states that wouldn't prescribe any training standards in order for these folks to be able to carry. So it's great to see this. And this now this has already passed the Senate, right? So does this go to the president's desk now, or does it go back to the Senate for a concurrence vote?
It is my understanding that it has already passed both. So I believe it goes on to the president, but we'll have to double check on that
All right.
one.
No, actually, you know what? I should have read the headline. Now goes to the president for signature. So there you go.
Oh.
We'll see what.
Came out of my department. Don't tell.
Hey, listen, you've got a lot of stuff going on. I mean, we're talking about Pennsylvania. We're talking about what's going on in Congress. But you all at NRA ILA and the NRA's Political Victory Fund are releasing, I don't know, 6, 7, 8 endorsements a day, it seems. The easiest way for folks to keep track of all of the endorsements, obviously, is to go to nrapvf.org. But let's just rattle off some of the endorsements that have been made this week. This is not a full list. In Pennsylvania, Pat Toomey for U.S. Senate. In Arizona's 8th Congressional District, Jesse Kelly. In the Wisconsin 1st Congressional District, Paul Ryan. Marlon Stutzman in Indiana's 3rd Congressional District. Lamar Smith in Texas' 21st Congressional District. All of these endorsements made just in the past 72 hours, I think.
Yeah, that's why you'll have to forgive me if I'm a little scatterbrained today. Between Rachel Parsons and I, we have written 100 endorsement releases.
Wow.
In the past few months. So, and we're not done yet. We're putting out a few more tomorrow. So, we've been endorsing all kinds of phenomenal pro-gun candidates from all across the country. Pat Toomey for U.S. Senate is another one that we endorsed this week, and actually Chris Cox and Wayne LaPierre flew out to Pennsylvania and made a few stops in a few cities to announce that endorsement, and so that's one we're very proud of. And yeah, we just want we want our members to know the candidates to look for when they're there in the ballot, in the voting booth rather, on November 2nd, and they're trying to pick those pro-gun candidates. We've made it very easy for people to look at our website and look at these releases and find out who the very best pro-gun candidates in any given race are. So I think that our new PVF site will be a big help to anybody who is trying to figure out who to vote for come November 2nd.
I think you're right, and before long the site will be up with all of the grades and endorsements from all over the country. Now, you and Rachel, you guys don't have to write the code to put all of that into the website, do you?
No, thank God. No, we don't.
Well, I'm glad that you've been spared that duty, at least.
Me too. Yeah, and it will, as you said, that'll be live very shortly. I'm told tomorrow, if not kind of working into Saturday, those different states will be going live with that information. So that'll definitely be something that our members and gun owners will want to click on and check out.
All right. Well, Alexa, thanks again for taking a quick break from writing all of these endorsement releases. Appreciate your time, and we'll talk to you next week.
Absolutely. Sounds good. Take care, Cam.
Thanks. Alexa Fritz, NRA ILA Media Liaison, join us here on Cam & Company.